Shalom. I'm Rabbi Davidovich speaking to you from Efrat, Israel. We're going to do our weekly Torah learning on one of the parts of the Parsha from the Netivot Shalom. And the book that we're using is the Netivot Shalom, the book on Shemot. And we're going to be talking about Parsha Terumah. And we are on page Kuf Tzadi Hey, which is 195. In the Torah portion of this week, Parsha Terumah, there's a very interesting statement. Hashem says to Bnei Yisrael, the children of Israel, he says, "V'asali mikdash v'shechanti b'tocham." Make for me a sanctuary, and I will dwell in your midst. And that's interesting language, because what does that mean? He's going to dwell within us, in our midst. So this is what the Netivot Shalom is going to talk about in this Torah learning. And he starts, the Sifrei HaKodesh told us Yitzchak Yaakov, Yitzchak maybe. Maybe Devar HaL-Shach HaKodesh brings the words of the El-Shach, Holy El-Shach, Shetaryag Mitzvos Netzlu Me'atzmot Yisborach, that the whole 613 commandments actually come right from the inner aspects of God. Really means the bones of God, but there's no bones, but like that. Nitzchi kach taryag mitzvos hanatzeli mimenu yisborach hem nitzachim. So similarly, just as God is eternal, so are the taryag mitzvos, the 613 mitzvos, eternal. Val pizeh. And because of this, makshe al mitzvah zu, they ask about this commandment, shall v'asali mikdash v'shechanti b'socham, I will make for you a sanctuary and I will dwell within you. Ma nitzchis b'mitzvah zeh, she'enu nohoges l'adorasam. It sounds like this commandment was given at the time of making the Mishkan and making the Beit Hamikdash. It was before the Beit Hamikdash was in the desert, so they made the Mishkan, which was the sanctuary. So it sounds like it was just for that generation. But how is that an eternal message for all the generations? Because we know that whatever we learn in the Torah, it comes to teach us something for today, not just 3,500 years ago. So v'lorak lachar chorban, not only after the destruction of the Beit Hamikdash, ela afilu bizman shaBeit Hamikdash kayam yefshel l'kayma. Even when the Beit Hamikdash was in existence, it was impossible to fulfill this. What does that mean? V'shaychish rak l'dor shebiyamav nivda Beit Hamikdash. It sounded like this would only apply to the time that the Beit Hamikdash was built, not for later generations, or the time that the Mishkan in the desert was built. Umau imkein inyan hanitzchis b'mitzvah noheges b'dor echad bilvad. What do we learn from something that apparently is a mitzvah only for that generation? The Chazal and the sages teach us in Gemara Sanhedrin, Dorshu al pasuk chol shani mara otcha v'gomer, where it says about everything that I will show to you, v'chein tasu, and so you shall do. V'chein tasu l'doros means you shall do for generations. Rashi explains, Dainu she'im yovad kli mikli mishkan, if one of the vessels that were used in the Mishkan, in the Tabernacle, or Beit Hamikdash, or the Beit Hamikdash, if one of them were lost, shiasu okay, that he made. In other words, the vessels were very holy. V'hikshal zeh, the Ramban asks a question, Shari Mizbeach, also Shlema hu b'midas acheros. The altar, which was made complete, is on a different category. V'yeshli biur amru v'chein tasu l'doros adas avoda. So we can explain, this shall be done v'chein tasu. You shall make the Migdash. I will dwell within you for the generations. V'yoter kasha, and another question is, She'anu roim she'atorah maricha ke'inyan ha'mishkan b'chamisha Kachamisha Parshot. The building of the Mishkan, of the Tabernacle in the desert, occupied 5 different parshot of the Torah. It's started last week with Mishpatim at the end of it, and it goes today and this week in Terumah, and then Tetzav and so on. The next 2, so 5 different parshas that it's talking about the Mishkan. Why? Why does it need that? So it's the Torah Kadosh, Torah's Chaim. The Torah is a Torah of life. The Lami Liyehudi es haderech asher yelcha, to teach a Jew the way that he should go. V'yesh lahavin lekorves el haseichel halimud miparshot ela. We have to understand and bring to our intellect what these different parshas, these 5 parshas, are coming to teach us. Uv'miyuchad b'zeh hazman she'ein lanu mishkan u'mikdash. Specifically, what does it teach us in a time when we no longer have a mishkan, a tabernacle, or a Beit Hamikdash? Batoldos Yaakov Yitzchak bevar shemitzvazu shel vaseli mikdash, that the mitzvah make for me a tabernacle. Koi al kol adam shehu olam katan b'fnei atzmo, refers to each human being who is a small world, an olam katan, contained within him. Every human being is a world by himself, and that's why life is so precious. And it says that if you've killed, chas v'sholom, you've killed one person, it's like you've destroyed the whole world. So because everybody is considered, certainly every Jew is considered an olam katan by himself. V'hu mitzuva lasos b'kirbo mikdash l'Hashem, and every one of us are commanded to make within us a sanctuary to God. Shebatoch gufo yia ma'on l'shchina, so that in the midst of our bodies there will be a place for the presence of God to reside. The Chomer Hazal, as our sages have said, B'shechanti b'socham, and I will dwell in you. B'socho lo nemar el b'socham. It doesn't say I will dwell in it. God's presence will dwell in the Beit Hamikdash or in the Mishkan, in the Tabernacle, but I will dwell in you. B'toch kol echad b'echad, in the midst of every single one of us. Because of Sheba'adam yesh shtei bechinot Mishkan. It's written that a human being has 2 aspects of the tabernacle. Mishkan haneshama shuba moach. There's a tabernacle of the soul, which is the intellect. Mishkan hanefesh v'haruach shuba balev, and the Mishkan, the tabernacle of the spirit, the body that is in the heart. So this is what the sentence says when we're talking about these are the things of the Mishkan, the tabernacle of witness. It's written twice, the word Mishkan. And this mitzvah that we're talking about, you shall make a tabernacle, I will dwell within you. Tells us that a Jew must use these 2 aspects of what a tabernacle is within him, the heart and the soul and the mind, to serve Hashem. Hamoach Mishkan Haneshama, the intellect is the dwelling place, the tabernacle of the soul. V'halev Mishkan Nefesh Ruach, and the heart is the tabernacle of the rest of the body and the spirit. Beis Yosef writes, when Rabbi Yonah is talking about the mitzvah of tefillin, he says, the hanchasan al harosh k'neged hamoach. We put the tefillin on our head, next to our intellect, next to our brain. Shadashama shebamochi, that our soul which is in our head, in kol shar chushe v'kochi kulam yimushubadim lavodos yisboroshmo, that all of these things shall be used for the service of God. Bal hayad, and the tefillin of the yad, of the hand, keneged halev, which is next to the heart, l'shabed bozeh tavos machshavos libeinu lavodos yisboroshmo, teach us that we have to bring all of our desires of our heart to serve Hashem. So it's two things: is we have to use our mind and our heart, both the intellect and our heart and our emotions, to serve Hashem. And we combine those two by wearing tefillin. One of the great sages, I forget who it was, said the distance between the mind and the heart is greater than the distance between here and the farthest planet. You have to bring them closer together. Tefillin brings them closer together. This is what it means. You shall make a tabernacle and I will dwell within you. It's permanent, it goes forever, and it applies to every single one of us. As we explained in another place, the chelek hamitzvah hashayach l'neshama hu nitzchi v'shayach tamid. The part of the commandment that is connected to the soul is forever, and it's something that lasts forever. Mitzvah zu inyana mash Yehudi mechuyav l'zakech v'lahachshir es mocho v'libo shu mikdash l'Hashem. This mitzvah teaches us what a Jew has to do to purify himself, to cleanse himself, to get to the level where he can be totally devoting his intellect and his heart, his mind and his emotions to the service of God. And this is the purpose of creation, that every single Jew would be by himself a holy, like the Beit Hamikdash, the holy temple. And this is said, that's what they should do for the generations. To teach us that the presence of God shall be found within each of us. Mm-hmm. We just had in 3 parshas ago, in Parsha Shalach, we had the Shirat Hayam, Az Yashir, and there it has a sentence, this is my God, and I will beautify him. Shetargum Unkelos says, Vanveyu Miloshin Nave. The Targum Unkelos says that the word Neve is from the word Nave, which is to make beautiful. Ba'avnele Mekadsha, I will make beautiful your holy place. Shezeh Yodo Shayehudi. This is the purpose of a Jew. Lasos Atzmo Mikdash or Mishkan, that a Jew should make himself a Mikdash and a tabernacle, Lashem, to God. Sheyia Kodesh, Sheyia Kadosh Shochem Batocho, so that holiness will reside within the person. Ukasav Hareshis Chachma, it's written, when a person looks at this, his soul should be engulfed in fiery love. And he says, believe in his heart, ani ben adam karotz mechomer afer va'afer. How do I'm a human being. I'm subject to all the material things around me, made of dust and ashes. But Shakadosh Baruch Hu Shasami Hashemayim Lo Yichal Kaluhu V'Yirasu L'Dora Imi. So Hashem made the heavens, but He wants to dwell here. Umani Hu Amai Shyovu Hamelech V'Elyon L'Dor B'Beisi. How can I bring the highest King to live in my house? Roihu She'asu Lo Dira Noash Yovu L'Dor. So what you have to do, and what this is saying, that you can be a mikdash in yourself, be a holy person in yourself. By doing that, you're creating a spot, a place for God to dwell here within you and within your house in this world. V'aderech libno kol Yehudas Beit Hamikdash shelo. What's the way that a Jew can rebuild his own personal Beit Hamikdash? He k'dechsev, as it's written, Vayichu li truma. We take for me truma, an offering, me'eis kol ish asher yadveno libo, from every person whose heart is desirous. Kamamar tzadikim, so the righteous ones say, shat truma me'eis kol ish hi. The truma is from every person, asher yadveno libo, who has a desire, whose heart desires to give it. The chol adam yesh inyanim usuyamim shalibo mishtokahu alehem bioter. Every person has certain things that his heart desires more than anything else. Kol echad v'nyanav, every person his own things. But truma, who me'eis kolish, truma has to be from every person. Asher yadveno libo, who has a desire to give it. You have to have the same desire that you have to do your material things. You have to have that same desire to serve Hashem and to make yourself into a holy person. Shemsor es hadover hahu shetishokes libo yuchedes elav trubas laHashem. You have to bring yourself to the point where your heart has this desire to bring an offering to Hashem. So the offering that you're bringing to Hashem is by raising yourself up, making yourself within you as a tabernacle. And by doing that, by taking those things that are all around you and raising them up to a higher level of service to God, whether you're in business, working in your business, whether you're playing, whatever you're doing, bring it to a higher level. And through that, by bringing everything to a higher level, you're then able to rebuild the Beit Hamikdash within you. It says in the holy books that every Jew is put on this world to repair that certain thing that is unique to him. Every period, every different time in your life, the things that you're supposed to be doing is changing. Things that you have to be metakin, have to repair. Kasher Yehudi Moser as a davar hazeh, and if you really realize this thing, also should be shtokek ato elav biyoter ariubona ayerezeh es Beit Hamikdash shelo, where you take those things that you have the greatest desire of, and with that you can build your own Beit Hamikdash. The Yesh Lomer, others say, this is really talking about Shabbos. The concept of making a mikdash, and I will dwell within you, means this holy Shabbos. As the Zohar says, after the Mabul, after the flood, and the ark came to rest on top of the mountain, and Noah sent out the Yonah, the dove, and the dove came back, and the pasuk says, below Masa Yonah Manoach, the dove did not find a resting place, the kaf ragla, for his feet. The koi ala shechina bizman hagolos. That's a reference, a hint at the holy presence of God in the time of exile that we're in now. To be most hachol in the weekdays, shechinta b'galosa b'bchiras lo matza hayona manoach l'kaf ragla. During the week, the presence of God is like that dove that couldn't find a place to rest, in this world. Amal b'Shabbos Kodesh, on the holy Shabbos. Kasi, if it's written, B'Shamru B'nai Yisrael, it says Shabbos, B'nai Yisrael will keep the Shabbos, la'asot, as HaShabbos l'dorosam, to make the Shabbos for generations. You notice the word l'dorosam, it's spelled l'dorosam chaser kasiv. It's written without a vav. It's Lamed Daled Reish Taf Mem, and it should be Lamed Daled Reish Vav Taf Mem. It should be written with a vav. but it's written as without a vav, but it's read lidorosam. What does that mean? Lidorosam miloshan dira, from the language of a dwelling place. A dwelling place that lasos es Shabbos lidaratam, that you should make Shabbos a dwelling place for God. Zakol ion man de matakilo, shematakein l'shchina. You're preparing the world for the presence of God. Dira noah belibe b'kelim noim ba'averim dila b'isha noah di nishmasa. You're doing all these beautiful things on Shabbos with beautiful vessels. Everybody's dressed in their finest thing. They're making a place for God to be able to come here and rest. But tzaddikim pershuzos b'ramar kasuv, and the tzaddikim explain this with the sentence in Tehillim, tashiv enosh adaka, that the person will return to there. The word tashiv, he says, osiot Shabbos. It's the word tashiv. You can spread the letters around, and it spells Shabbos. The kuliyama Rosh Tevos dira Kalim Isha. It means these things we were talking about, the beautiful things on Shabbos. B'hainu shezaka hu Yehudi hu b'va Shabbos. A Jew merits when Shabbos comes. Avila dira na beliba. He makes a beautiful house through his heart, through the intensity he puts through his heart, the emotion he puts through his heart into Shabbos. Shenichlal b'zeh taharas halev. And included in this is a purification of your heart, ha'evorim, your limbs, b'hamoach, your intellect, your mind, k'sheneged haneshama, next, like that is represents the neshama, the soul. Hainu shebataras called chelke gufo tachtim shneim v'shlishim. In other words, going into Shabbos, the Jew purifies every part of his body, upper, middle, and lower. With his intellect, his heart, and his very limbs. Shabbos Kodesh, so that there shall be on Holy Shabbos, Makom Lashros Hashchina, a place for the resting of the presence of God. Below Tia Shechinta B'Golasa, and God shall no longer be in Galus, in exile. Bring him home. Make a house for him. The house we make for him right now is on Shabbos. On Tisha B'Av, when we're mourning the destruction of Beit Hamikdash, one of the prayers that we ask all the time is not for our sake, O Lord, but for yours. We don't want you to be homeless anymore. We want you to have a home. Rebuild your home. And Shabbos is the home for Hashem until and including the time we have rebuilt Beit Hamikdash. Because of this, it said, the sentence we've been talking about. He said, no matter what's going on in the week, no matter how difficult your week is, every week you have Shabbos. Every week you have Shabbos. Every week you have this place where you know you can create a space for God to rest, for the presence of the Shekhinah. Shebimos hachol shelemala shechinta b'galusa. In the days of the week, the presence of God is in exile. Kasha ma'od. It's very difficult. Gam lamati lagia lebechinas osli mikdash, to come down below and make a sanctuary. Abo lekalapachos b'Shabbos. But on Shabbos, Yehudi, the Bechina Zakah, a Jew is worthy and merits. She attacking the Shechina Dira Noah Kelim Noim Isha the Nefesh Ruach Neshama. That on Shabbos he makes a place for the presence of God to fill the house with all the beautiful things there. Bazar Chajom Shabbos Kadisho. He says, remember this holy day, to keep the Shabbos day, to keep it holy. Lizchor l'kol ha'pochos es yom ha'Shabbos l'kadesh bo es hamoach halei v'avorim. To at the very least remember that on Shabbos you should remember to make holy your mind, your heart, and your evorim, your limbs. And there, then you will have a place for the presence of God to rest. As the Meforshim said, and according to this part, the pasuk that we've been reading, this is a promise. This is a promise. If a Jew fulfills what he says, I will make for God a mikdash, a tabernacle within me. If you intent that every part of your body is to bring holiness like a Beit Hamikdash, just like the Holy of Holies in the temple. The Heichal going up to the Holy of Holies, Mizbeach, Hachitzon, the outer altar, Sheba Azara, and the outer Azara of the Beit Hamikdash, Shem Kagil Gimel Kaguf. Those three things in the Beit Hamikdash represent the three parts of the body that we talked about.